guys, welcome back to another streaming movie review. Today we are reviewing The Boston Strangler. The Boston Strangler is a new movie that has come out on Disney+. I think it actually came out in March and I basically missed it and I didn't have a chance to get to it. So we're reviewing it here. This is a movie that is directed by Matt Rushkin, and I've just been looking on his letterbox, and this is like one of the first 4 films that he's directed. He has worked on as a producer in other movies, but this is like one of his first, really, I guess, big movies on a streaming thing and all that. The movie does star Keira Knightley, and she is playing Loretta. Now, this is based on a true story. The Boston Strangler is what it is. He's somebody from Boston, all these things in Boston were strangling people. That was it. And, it was a true story that, was obviously terrible at the time. I think it was back in, the 60s. And Loretta, basically, Keira Knightley's character, she is, a reporter. Obviously, in the 60s, women's rights weren't all that great and stuff. So she was just put on, on the newspaper. She was just, reviewing toasters, I think one of the example was. And just doing, lifestyle-y stuff on the paper. And, it wasn't really challenging her as an aspiring journalist. And she really wanted to, broaden her horizons and get more experience and become more than that, if you know what I mean. She wanted to become more. And yeah. So I want to say right away, Keira Knightley for me in this role, I thought she was fantastic. It was really hard. She's played a really traditional English girl, obviously, in Pirates of the Caribbean. She did that really, really well. But in this movie, she played an American Boston, very, very good accent. Very, very good. I was shocked at how good she was in this performance, portraying this American person. Her accent was just phenomenal. It doesn't often happen, but it just blew me away. So yeah, she's obviously an aspiring journalist. She wants to better her career, better herself, and ultimately she decides to, just betray her boss. Well, I guess not betray. Betray is probably the wrong word, but she just goes against her boss. She just decides to ultimately, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to find this out for myself. And obviously she convinces him eventually to take a punt on him and run her story. And, there was ups and downs and all that. I'm not going to spoil it, but it was very, very well done. I will say this movie, though, it did feel there's multiple things going on in this movie. It's hard for me to say what type of genre this is, because we had crime elements. There was definitely, the police obviously trying to figure out the murders and all of that. It felt sometimes like a documentary, like a true crime podcast type of documentary series type of thing. Obviously, it was more trying to be factual rather than a story in fiction. So yeah, and then also was a drama. It felt a bit like a drama as well. So there was definitely some overlapping in terms of genres in this movie, and yeah, but it wasn't a bad thing. It just kind of covered a lot of things, and it wasn't bad at all. We did get some other people in the movie. I did recognize David Dast Malshan. I did recognize him. He was on Suicide Squad as the polka dot man. I recognized him. But we did get Carey Coon, who was playing Gene Cole, who was the other reporter. Chris Cooper, he was very good in this as well. Alessandro Nivola, I've seen him before as well. He was a detective. Rory Cochrane, Peter Geraghty, Robert John Burke. Yeah, it was a very male-dominated casting with Keira Knightley and Carey Coon. And I thought they both did really, really well. Carey Coon as well, I recognise her from things like Gone Girl. She was what's his name? Ben Affleck's sister in that film. There was a lot of actors that I recognise and stuff in the movie, but yeah. So this is a Disney Plus, well, Star Plus, whatever it is here in the UK, Star I think it is, but it's on Disney Plus basically, and it is a Disney Plus original. Does this movie feel though like it should have been in cinemas? And I will say yes. I think the production quality in this film was fantastic. The look was great, and it had this really really cool filter on the movie, which obviously color corrected and all that was on point, I thought. And it just stuff like that really matters to me, because you really are in the film then, you know what I mean? You feel like you're in that time period. You're not just watching it and just you're actually I'm actually in it, And for me, I actually watched this film on my iPad when I was traveling, and I just watched it on my iPad. So to not even to get that feeling whilst being on my iPad and not in my room and stuff is a big thing. I don't tend to watch many films on my iPad. I tend to watch most of my films in my room, of course, and or the cinema. But for me, I really just thought that it was well done. It looked great, and yeah. So rating the movie then, what am I going to give it? I'm actually going to give it a 3.5 star. It was very good. It should have been in cinemas, in my opinion. There was some bits where it did drag a little bit, but it was done in quite a good way. The score was also really good as well. I should mention that. It was really moody, and set the tone of the film, in my opinion, that needed to happen. So yeah, there's my review of the Boston Strangler. Let me know, guys, if you have seen it down below in the comments, and let me know what streaming movies I should watch next. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more coming soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.